Hi everybody, it's James Rowley. I'm in my Hammond Forever house. It's June 15th, 2018. And I want to do something that I have been putting off for quite a while, which is clean out the ventilation system. This is the Heat Recovery Ventilation system that we installed. Its job is to give fresh air to this house. We had an old house and it was leaky. We've taken that old house and we've sealed it up and put the vapor barrier on the inside, and we've made it much more airtight. So we want to get that fresh air in and release the stale air. We could open a bunch of windows, but then you let the heat out. So stale air comes in and fresh air goes out there. And on the other side, this pipe right here is where the air goes out of the house, and on the other side it's coming in from the outside. You might have a furnace, and that furnace probably has a filter in it, and you're supposed to exchange that filter, right? And we had an oil tank and an oil heater, like an oil furnace, and that thing had a pretty big filter. It had a couple of filters, and you were supposed to replace it. You were supposed to take it out and replace it, and we just never got around to it. So we're kind of doing the same thing with this thing and sort of forgetting to do it. So this is the manual, and I was reading it, and it says I'm supposed to do this every 3 months, but I haven't been. Oh, by the way, this tube down on the bottom, that's where any condensation that is created in the unit from pulling moist air out of the house, out of the bathrooms especially, can condense and come down. A tube just goes into a bucket, and that bucket has never filled because it doesn't fill very much, and then it evaporates. So I guess we should do that a little better. Here is the inside of the unit, and I think I read that I could just. No, maybe not. Okay, I figured out I can use one of my electrical cables up here to hold the lid up. There you go. So it's very simple, isn't it? This is the core, the heat exchanger core. This is I think that's the main fan. I think there seems to be 2 fans. But anyway, the air comes in from the outside here, and there's the first filter. Goes through that filter, and it goes, I don't know. Oh, it goes in there. Oh, I see. It gets blown in here. And then it gets crossed through this heat exchanger and then out into the house. The stale air comes in here. There's another air filter here. Goes through that filter, gets crossed over, so that the heat is exchanged simply by crossing paths with the air that's going into the house. Super simple, really, and not a lot can go wrong with the machine. It's pretty cool. How do we get heat in the house? It's entirely up to you. If you've got a gas furnace, a lot of people have gas furnace, and you're blowing warm air into your house to heat your house, you can get one of these and add this to that system, no problem. We don't have another air circulation system because we're heating with heating pipes under the floor. Not a lot of people are going to end up with that kind of system, but either way, if you seal up your house and insulate it properly, you're probably going to want a heat recovery ventilator. It ventilates and it recovers the heat as you do. You know what it says? Every 3 months. Every 3 months, disconnect power supply. Oh, okay. Do that. Chink. Clean the inside of the door with a damp cloth. Okay, let's do that. Captain America cloth. Yes, I was really worried that I was going to have to throw things away here, but in fact, next step is to clean filters. Remove filters, vacuum to remove most of the dust, wash with a mixture of warm water and mild soap. And then you put them back in, so you don't have to buy new ones. So good. There's one filter. And as you know, it's 2018. It's June 2018. This is last summer's fire season. I noticed this. I pulled it out and I didn't clean it. I should have. But right in the center, all of that smoke happened when the Fraser Valley was inundated with smoke from the really bad wildfires that were happening. So, you know, that's climate change right there. We shouldn't be getting such extreme weather that that the fires are burning out of control. We're now facing, we had a lot of snow on the mountains this year, more than usual, and then we had a sudden warming period, so there was a big risk of flooding in the Fraser Valley. There was flooding in areas of the province. But I figured I should clean this out before this year's fire season. Climate change doesn't mean that the weather just gets warmer. It means that the weather kind of goes crazy and you get these extremes. So that was an extreme last year and I'm happy to clean that out. Look at that. That is pretty serious. And then we've got some seeds from dandelions that have made their way. And then this one is from the house. This is the air coming in from the house. And that is still got some dust. I guess that's dust from the house. Wow, it's nice that it's cleaning that dust out of our air. So do the filters once every 3 months, which I almost can guarantee I won't do. But let's say 6 months or whenever I remember. I remember today, so that's good. And I've never done it before, so it's pretty easy. I'm finding out. Then once a year, you're supposed to do this. So this is how easy it is to clean this thing. This is the core. And you don't have to buy a new one of these either. And there you can see the dirt that's made it through, or dust that's made it through the filter system. It's like corrugated cardboard, the one with passages through on one way and then passages through in the other way, and the air can't mix. It's a pretty simple idea. But this, you just clean with soap and water again, and then rinse it, and then let it dry. Put it back in. Pretty cool. I don't know. I guess I gotta put that back in.